Won't you stop and take a little time out with me? Just take 5.
All right. Nothing funny we're doing today. It's episode 27. At Take 5 Pod. You know, we're on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X/Twitter, TikTok, and everything else that I did not mention. We on there. How we doing this morning, gentlemen?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Good.
Had a restful morning.
What'd you say, Drew?
So I had a restful morning. I feel good.
You didn't cook up some you didn't cook no breakfast or nothing?
I actually didn't. I just got up like 15 minutes ago, which is late for me. But I mean, like I said the other day, if we need to arrange a time for me to just go ahead and shut all the cooking like tries down, like we can do that. Y'all can just make your request and I'll go ahead and handle that. Because like
Julian, do you think you're a better cook than me?
Bro, of course. I'm nobody on here. I don't think anyone on here can like really like stand toe to toe with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are you serving plates though? Like, that's the real question.
I can serve plates. Like, I definitely could.
I don't want
I'm like, you're laughing, but I'm dead serious. Like,
for sure.
Shit.
Anywho, on that note, we definitely gonna have some more bad takes like that on the show today. All right, so we're back with take review. Definitely got a lot of takes to get into. Right, we had the NBA Finals, so we're gonna talk about that as we go on as well. But let's go ahead and get into the show. If y'all ain't got nothing else, let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna have to blow it up some just so we can see what's going on. But yeah, for sure. So we gonna start with Julian. Why don't you go ahead, man? Because we start with the NHL stuff. It's like,
oh, you want to go straight to hockey? Okay.
Yeah, we're going straight. We got to get it out the way. You feel me? All right, we got to get it out the way. Where my glasses at?
Okay. So I would be remiss if I feel like we didn't mention what's happening in the NHL world.
Yeah,
like, obviously, none of us are big hockey fans. And I won't even sit here and act like I know much hockey. Like, that's not true. I still be struggling to understand what's going on. But it is a spectacle every time that I tune in to the playoffs. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. So what's happening right now? If I'm not mistaken, the Edmonton Oilers are currently in a quest to come back from down 0-3. Like, they were down 3-0 to the Florida Panthers, down where I used to stay at, like South Florida, but it's like a little up, Sunrise. Yeah. Edmonton has Connor McDavid. He is like the number one player in the NHL by far. Watching him is crazy. It's like kind of watching, like, to me, watching him feels like watching a Kobe Bryant almost. Like,
yeah, I heard he's the next Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, like it's very serious. I'm not dragging it. I'm not dragging it at all. Like, this is like what it was like for y'all to watch LeBron. Like, I'm not gonna say me, but like for y'all, when y'all were amazed by the stuff that LeBron was doing, like, it's like that. So it's really, I don't know, it's really special. But I have a few tweets on here. I was just like, scrolling my way through X after the game because I'm shocked. Like, I'm thinking the Panthers are gonna eliminate them last game. No. This game, no. Like, they look shook right now. So my question to y'all is, I don't know if y'all have actually tuned in, but do you think that this would be the biggest choke of all time? Or the biggest, let's say, the biggest choke of all time if they lost the lead 3-0, the Panthers, to the Oilers?
I don't think it would be, just because, like you're saying, like, it's to the GOAT. And, like, this has happened before in hockey. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, this happened, like, not too long ago.
I don't think so.
No, bro. It's happened, like, I looked it up last night. It's happened 4 times.
Ever, yeah.
Across
sports, though. Across sports. Like,
across sport? No, that was just hockey.
Oh, no. Or that's not what I heard, at least from what they said. But
I thought that's what I saw.
I'm pretty sure it's happened like 5 times ever.
I don't think it's just hockey.
Across all the major sports. And it's like basketball 0 times, Obviously, we can't count football, but in hockey, I think it has happened a few times. And in baseball, I know it's happened at least twice. But
like,
anyways,
what are we talking about? Like, because like we need an equivalent for something in football.
okay,
It'd be like, of course, we're
the
about
Falcons. What people mentioned was the Falcons.
okay.
No,
you're
that's the
telling
worst
me,
choke in history, bro.
yeah, like so you're telling me that's a bigger choke than that,
I think so.
dude.
No, it can't be. It can't be.
I think the hockey you're talking about. I think the hockey's worse than the Falcons. Absolutely.
Dude.
I think the Falcons was the worst choke of all time.
No, bro.
I mean, it was pretty bad.
Football was a choke, I guess, but like it was also extremely unlucky, and there was no chance to regroup. Like after the wheels fall off, you don't get a chance to regroup in football. Like
but that's the
one
point,
bro. You just need to kick a field goal.
No,
that's
I
the
understand
point,
that,
though,
but it's
Drew.
a one game thing. And like I say, one play changes the game. In this, they're going to get their fourth closeout game.
Yeah.
This is the fourth new game that they can close out. Mind you, they had a home game. Like they've had multiple chances to close out. They have a home game 7 to close them out. That's not, I don't know. That's much worse than the Falcons losing 20-3, in my opinion.
And just one disclaimer. I'm speaking for myself mostly, but we don't watch hockey like that.
I understand.
All right. So but
like
when we speak on it,
we did.
yeah, this is from a macro perspective of choking. Yeah, no. So like you mentioned, you can regroup in a series type of format. There's no regroup in football, meaning that when the Patriots were demoralized, after being dominated for the half of football, maybe
absolutely was.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's no real regroup there. They just turned it around. You know what I mean?
No, they turned the page. That's what happened. They came out differently in terms of schematics.
In one game, they turned the page. They didn't sit down, chew over the film, everything like that. They didn't do that.
I think they adjusted out of halftime, and obviously, like it took a little bit to set in, but the Falcons didn't adjust. Like the Falcons, we were playing a lot of cover 3 and man coverage in that game. Like if you go back and watch it, we're playing a lot of cover 3 man coverage. And the Patriots, I guess, I don't know what happened. I assume the defense was on the field for a lot of time, but we never got out of it. Like the whole game. Like I don't know why we didn't go to like cover 2. I guess we're playing the Patriots, so like they don't have any real deep threats, and you don't want to give up the middle of the field. But you're taking away a lot of yards happening at once. The Falcons, the Patriots started running a lot of drag routes and crossing routes. And the Falcons couldn't run with their little receivers anymore for some reason when we got late in the game. Like, you go back and watch it. I'm telling you what happened. Like,
Drew, I'm glad, like, I was there for sure, but like, this is all good at all. But let's get to the question at hand, though. Biggest choke of all time. Biggest choke of all time.
I'm posing the questions to y'all. Like, I have my own opinion.
And I'm telling you that when you're in one game and you turn around something like that, that is a major choke. That's a major choke. That's like blowing a 30-point lead in basketball or something like that in the finals. You know what I mean? Elimination game, win or go home situation. That's what that is like. So
it was a choke. It also was very unlucky though. Like there's a difference.
It wasn't that unlucky.
It was extremely unlucky. Like
it was lucky.
It was like as unlucky as you can get in a game of football. Everything bad went wrong for the Falcons. Like
the Edelman catch, like
that was one play.
That was the biggest play.
If the play didn't happen, we win the Super Bowl. Number one, the ball flies off Robert Alford's face. Right, he hit Alford in the face. RDB, he hit him in the face, and the ball flies straight up in the air. It could have flown down. It could have went anywhere else. It flies straight up, and Edelman double catches it over 2 defenders while on the ground. Like that.
Did he make a
play? Yeah, that was one play.
Yeah, it was a great play. If we're not gonna act like luck is not involved in that, like we would be fools. And
luck is involved in every aspect of sports.
It is.
I don't want to hear that.
In one football game, a lot of things can go wrong, like it did for the Falcons. And in my opinion, we couldn't have done better defense on that play specifically. Like he could have caught the ball, I guess. But like other than that, no, not really. Like that was almost perfect defense. We deflected the ball. 2 guys were there on the catch. the guy made a catch, like whatever. But like I
He
said,
definitely should have just picked the ball off.
that was a hard pick. He was close to the quarterback. But anyways, they've had 3 games to close them out now. You're up 3-0 and you lose.
They got blown out the first one too. I'm pretty sure.
They lost 8-1, and last night they lost 5-1. I don't know. In my opinion, if you choke a 3-0 lead, that's a bigger choke than choking a football game. Like
probably, yeah. But didn't Boston? I think the Yankees blew it. They blew a 3-0 lead. I think that might be a bigger one. Though.
They did, yeah. The Yankees definitely did.
I might take that one.
I think that was an ALCS.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's when the Yankees were stacked too. Like I just feel like that might be up there with this one.
I was reading it. I think it was like 2002 ALCS or 2004, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, 2004, yeah.
It's baseball though, so like, there's a lot of like, even though obviously it's super skillful, like there's still a lot of luck involved in that because you could get unlucky with batting wise. So
yeah, where the ball flies.
Yeah.
Nah, this because like if it was basketball and we were talking about this and like someone was on the brink of losing, after being up 3-0, like y'all would put this at the very top. So like, and I feel like even in hockey, like that's not good. That's has to be the biggest choke job.
And to Miles's point, if you were watching it, it would be different. You would think differently. Like I'm not a hockey fan. I'm not. No. I'm not a hockey fan. I don't even really know like fully what's going on. You can see the guys like folding. Like there's guys. You can see the guys on the Panthers. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Of course, they're folding. Like
no.
Yes, this
like,
is what's happening.
Folding on typical plays, and like even like to the point where the commentators are like, "Oh my god, like he's thinking too hard." Like blah 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 blah. Blah. Like you're like watching this, you can see them feeling the pressure, and the crowd is like playing a major factor, bro. They came out last night. The game's in Canada.
Yeah, they got to win in Edmonton.
During the national anthem, the American national anthem, they're chanting the Florida Panthers goalie's name over the anthem. Like it was turned. Like, bro, the atmosphere is like really unmatched. I gotta go to one. I really do. Like,
I heard they were feeling the pressure too. Like I think it was when they were up 3-0. They were like, yeah, it was too much. They said that they're like it was too much. Like all of our family was there. Like it was a little bit too much. Like
they definitely are feeling the pressure and they're feeling the travel. They gotta fly from Canada to South Florida. Back and forth. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Telling you.
Canada to South Florida. That's like the furthest distance possible.
Yes, you're going too far every other day. So I'm taking this choke. I didn't see the other 3-0 chokes, so I don't know. But this choke is definitely worse than any choke that I've seen. Worse than the Warriors, the Cavs. Like it's been bad. You're on mute, Mo.
Muted. Mm-hmm.
Still mute.
Last thing I'll say about the 3-0 choke for Boston, like or for the Yankees, that boy Mariano Rivera had like 2 outs and like a person on first. I don't know if y'all remember that, but like the dude stole and like somehow got home like off like a RBI. Like it was so crazy. Like they had.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
When
the Yankees were up 3-0, they were in Boston. Mariano Rivera had like 2 outs, like the best closer ever.
Yeah.
Like, somehow
the guy got home.
Yeah, the guy got home, and they ended up winning that game, and that started.
Yeah,
I have to look that up. I didn't know that.
Was crazy.
I
think it was David Justice who stole the base. Second.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. That's a big choke by the Yankees too, but I don't know.
Also, like we really still haven't even mentioned the Cavs.
I don't think it's close. I don't think it's that close to me though.
It's an honorable mention for sure.
It is, but like there's a lot of other factors at play in that, like the Draymond suspension stimulus.
Bro,
Here we go, bro.
over there kicking folks in the nuts. What did you expect?
Bro, he got stepped over. He got stepped over, and he pushed him off of him. And it.
Are you serious?
He was
Calling
over
that
him.
a stimulus is it is nuts. Like
That was a stimulus. That was
It's not a stimulus, dude. It did happen. Yes, it's not a stimulus. Like what are we talking
bro.
about?
That was the stimmy. Like I don't know what are we talking about?
So Katie's injury wasn't a stimmy? Actually, never mind. Let me chill.
Yeah, before it gets started, we
Yeah.
might as well.
Talking about
Y'all
now.
got anything left on
Now.
the hockey slide though? So before we get into some take reviews,
That
that was hot. That was a hot take though, Drew. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of hot. Like I need to do my research, get into the history books about that one. But
Also,
There's
Connor
been-
McDavid is having like the second best postseason ever behind Wayne Gretzky. So if he caps it off by completing this 0-3 comeback and wins the Stanley Cup, and like he'll be close to where Gretzky was in the playoffs in terms of points. We have to crown him something. Like I don't know. We have to crown him something. He has to be rewarded.
round or something.
Yeah, no, like he has to be. Like yeah.
Okay. Crown him what, Julian?
I don't know.
With your hockey knowledge, I got
Yeah,
you
that's
though.
what I'm saying.
I
I'm not
know
educated
you
enough.
don't. Like
I'm not
what is-
educated enough to speak on it, but I'm saying like he has to be elevated somewhere. Like he can't be with the other guys. Like
for winning
maybe,
your shit.
obviously Gretzky. No. Gretzky will be there, obviously, like as the GOAT. Like I've looked up the Gretzky numbers and like he may be the GOAT of all sports. Like if I'm keeping it real, like he actually like he was like that. But he'll be like under Gretzky, like maybe like I don't know, Sidney Crosby, Ovechkin, those dudes. I don't know. But he has to fly up leaderboards in terms of all time if he completes the 0-3 comeback.
All right then. Makes sense to me. I don't know about y'all, but that makes sense. Let you. Anywho, that's enough hockey for the day. I feel like.
Yeah, we can cap it there.
Tune in. Isn't that game tonight though? That hockey game?
No, that was last night.
just played last
The
night.
next game is
No, I mean the next one. It's Monday.
Monday.
Sunday or Monday.
May have to tune in then. I mean, game 7. Why not? Why
Yeah.
not?
There's no way that they're definitely gonna blow it.
Yeah, they don't look like they want it anymore. I'm not gonna lie.
That pressure is probably crazy. Going in the game.
Very crazy.
Let me get this video up.
Luka is the worst all-star I've ever seen in my life. He can score the ball, he can pass the ball, he can rebound, all that. He has no effort on defense. He don't want to play defense. He don't hustle for no loose balls. He don't hustle for no loose rebounds. I watched Drew Holiday about 3 to 4 times get extra rebounds when he was guarding. I'm like, yo, he don't try. Yo, I watched Luka because like Kyrie deserves it, but we don't give Luka no blame for nothing. I watched Luka. I guess I don't know if he got injured or what, or fouled. He's laying on the ground. The ball's going this way. He's still there. They score, they end out. He's still just getting up. Anybody else you watch, when they get on the ground, they get their butts up and get on defense. He has no type of urgency of playing solid basketball. And I will not let my son, right, that wants to be a basketball player, I mean, he wants to, but I will not let him watch his tape because I don't want you to learn from a superstar like that. No hustle, no attitude, no care. Are you crazy? So, yes, Kyrie Irving deserves all that blame, and so does.
And so does Luka. All right, so we got Shady McCoy. I got two takes out of this one. But the first one, the most obvious one, Luka being one of the worst superstars out there, for his lack of effort and everything that he just said. On a scale of 1 to 5, I think we did. Yeah, we did 5 being the hottest. All right, so on a scale of 1 to hot, how hot does that take?
It's like a 4.
Elaborate.
Well, that's just like one of the craziest things I've heard in a minute, honestly. Like an MVP candidate being.
How's that not 5?
I mean, 5 is like the hottest take of all time, no?
Yeah, I mean, he's correct. He is correct.
So like maybe a 4.5, 4.8 even, damn near. But yeah, I've never heard something like that. What is that?
I said I'll put you down for a 4. What you got, Miles?
It's up there as a 5. Like there's no chance that Luka Doncic is the worst superstar in the league, who is always, it seems like, always going to be like top 5 MVP candidate every year. Like, he's entered that territory. He just made it to the finals. Like, are we kidding here? Like,
It's all very true.
No chance.
So there's no merit.
Who people consider superstars, like, there are definitely multiple superstars that are better worse than Luka, without a doubt. Is he a little lazy? Like, does he, not get back on defense sometimes? Does he complain to the refs a lot? Yeah, but Le'Veon he took it too far. Or Shady McCoy.
So there's no merit behind the take. Like, he's talking about the lack of effort on defense. While you just said about the arguing with referees and the lack of urgency that he could play with at times, right? Pounding the rock too much, stopping the fast break with his, quote unquote pace. Like, there's nothing behind that. Like,
come on, Jim.
No, you go ahead.
Anyways, I'll give it a 5. Like, that's definitely crazy. Like, we just saw him get through the West, which is full of superstars, and he just embarrassed pretty much all of them. So, like,
Bear got through Josh Giddey now. Like, what are we talking about?
Got through Paul George. He got through Anthony Edwards.
Did he just say Paul? He just said playoff P.
I forgot. I should have put the slide of Paul George up this week.
Oh yeah,
he was talking about he didn't want to do the dirty work this year. I was throw, but
I don't think I even saw that.
I forgot. I should have put that in. But to address y'all's point, so we're just talking about is Luka the superstar point, right?
Yeah.
All right, that take is like a 4, but like there is what he was saying. Actually, nah. If y'all said 4, I'll probably go like 3.5. Because, like, he's not the worst superstar. So that part is hot. But his explanation is not. Like,
but that's not what we're talking about.
You said there's 2 takes, correct, Morgan?
There's 2 takes. The second take is unrelated.
Okay, so yeah, I'm including all this in. Like, no, he's not the worst at all. Like, he's one of the best, actually. But his explanation was truthful. Like, and I think that played a part in why they lost. Like, definitely. Like, number one, like, huh?
He was injured.
Man always says this. Anyway,
No.
He was on one knee. That, like, the whole playoffs. That was an actual thing.
He was never injured when things were going good. I'm just saying that wasn't true.
I'm just talking about him being
so
lazy.
He can't be injured when things were going bad.
I'm just talking about him being lazy in the finals, bro. Like,
that's the whole playoffs, dude. We've been talking about this for weeks. So, like, let's not just say the finals.
That's not true. And
bro,
like,
okay, let's address it right now.
Series, he was actually crying on defense.
No. Let's break it down, right? You, after the first game of the playoffs, they played the Clippers, right? I'm talking about Ian.
Oh, yeah.
You tried to push a narrative that Luka was a solid defender. He's playing good defense, blah, blah, blah.
He was trying.
Because he had one good defensive performance. I remember Morgan and myself especially, we pushed back on that. We were saying that's one game because he could defend in, like, with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. We're not going to sit here and reward him and call him an all-world defender. Okay? We're not doing that.
Bro, no one called him an all-world defender.
We came back through the rest of the series. He had an all-time terrible defensive performance. The metric is on TV. Then he had an all-time terrible defensive performance in the next series, Thunder series. It was like most blow-bys, highest percentage of points given up. Like, all of this is all recorded. And it's ever. He's the top 4 ever. He's now top 4 ever in, like, highest blow-by percentage.
That's cool and all. That's cool and all. That's cool. He can't move on one leg. You expect him to play better defense on one leg?
Bro, just drop it.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, we're gonna act like he wasn't hurt, though. Like, we're gonna sit here and act like he wasn't hurt.
Was he hurt when he crossed over Rudy Gobert, shot the 3, and hopped on one leg? Right? He jumped on one leg after he shot the three because he'd be bouncing.
He does that every time
and puts the leg up.
He does that every time. Like that's just
So what's he hurt?
That's great in him, bro.
I'm asking you, what's he hurt then though?
Bro, he had to put the team on his back, bro. Kyrie was
obscenities at the crowd after it. Was he hurt? I said then he yelled at the crowd. Was he hurt then?
He was hurt.
And you have to be for real though, because you actually shocked me by saying that with a straight face. Like I can tell if you were like kidding, but like you blew me with that.
And you want me to pull up the graphic of like the list of injuries he had going into the
all they said is his leg. It was his knee and his chest, bro. And he got the chest injury, like I think the last game of the Timberwolves series when he got ran over. Actually, no, I think it was the first game of the finals. He got ran over by Jaylen Brown on the charge. And that's when he hurt his chest.
I'm just talking about
everybody
knee, bro.
deals with something with that type of run. You put that type of run together, like
but I'm just saying
dealing with stuff.
Kawhi won a championship on one leg.
Dude, and he looked hurt.
Defense,
he was actually hobbling. Luka was running around fine.
I don't think that Luka was running around 100%. Like I don't think.
And Miles, like I don't know why we're putting the bracket around the playoffs. Like I know it just happened; it was just right in front of his face. We've seen Luka play defense healthy. I mean, that's not like something we haven't like. We haven't made it.
Why that was right there.
Where's this coming from here?
But like it was a lot worse though because he couldn't move. Like
it was a lot worse because the magnifying glass was that much bigger. That's why it looked worse. We've seen this before.
He doesn't defend.
It wasn't this bad. It was never this bad. I don't think
it was.
No, it was not. Bro, it was not.
No, he doesn't defend.
Weaknesses
he doesn't care. All he does is reach, and they were low by him. Like I told you this after the good game.
Bro, he had the most deflections in the playoffs. So like it gets weird at a certain point.
If we go back to our text messages when you said that he had a good defensive game, I was like, bro, number one, that's not true. He gets blown by every single play, and that was after the one good game. The one good game.
He had a good game against a great offensive team.
Oh, he had a good game. He had a good game trying to guard like Kawhi when he got the ball.
Shut up, bro. You got that Kawhi apology stuff, bro. You're gonna keep it, bro.
Yeah, he can't guard. But I want to get into the second take. Let's gotta keep us moving here. So there's this thing. It's been going around or going on for a while now. It's this narrative about how, of course, we have so many different analysts in the media right now, but this thing about football players speaking on basketball, you know what I mean? And it can happen vice versa. It happens across every sport, whatever. But like, do y'all believe that if you were a great football player, like let's say a LaShawn McCoy, should he be speaking on basketball when that's not necessarily his wheelhouse, if you will, where the most of his knowledge lies? Like, what do y'all think about that?
Like some football players actually watch basketball. Like,
for sure.
I don't know if LaShawn McCoy does, but it seems like he does. He was kind of narrating exactly what Luka was doing. He was actually kind of spitting. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like, again, he could be watching like you and I. You know what I mean? I don't put on a suit and get on whatever show he was on, but like, can he speak on football can we trust him to speak on basketball is my question.
I mean, I'm not taking his takes to my heart. Like, I'm listening to other folks before him.
But like
1, 2, or 3.
He has the right to have a voice. It's, just like any of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I rock with Shady. Like,
you listen, like I don't understand. Like, what's the difference between him and like Stephen A. Smith? Like, I guess Stephen A. Smith played college basketball, but like,
I mean, he covered the game. And we're gonna get into Stephen A. in a minute.
Shannon Sharp, like
Shannon.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, but with Stephen A. though, he been covering the game for longer than we've been alive. So like, he been next to the game, next to the players, front offices, that sort of stuff. So like, I guess he has that cachet. But
that, in my opinion, that's more like reporting.
Yeah.
Versus like analyzing. Like, I feel like LaShawn McCoy is definitely like, I don't know. Obviously, like Jacob said, I don't know if he sits down and watches the game every day or whatever, but like basketball is not that hard to really understand. Like, it's not. I know you're a basketball head and stuff. Like, and yes, there are complexities to the game that I don't get. We don't get. But like, just at a surface level, like basketball is not that hard to get. It's really not.
See, I feel like when we talk about reporting and analyzing, those are two very different things nowadays, especially with all the analytics and then the stats and all the stuff that we do now. So like, it's definitely different, and that's why I feel like he be bringing folks on the show, like the JJ Reddicks of the world, what have you, to help him speak on each sport. Like you got Shannon on there, who obviously knows football, that sort of thing. He'd be bringing the WNBA players on there because they know that game better. But I don't know. I don't know. But y'all saying it's cool.
Yeah, that's
could,
cool.
You know, football, it could
I don't
bleed
mind
over,
that.
speak on
Especially basketball. Especially if we're talking about basketball.
Yeah, especially basketball.
I feel like basketball is much easier to understand than football.
That's true.
Like, and if we're talking about the biggest sports, it is. I mean, I'm just being real. It is
Easy to understand. I just like, what are you basing this off of exactly?
I mean, I've watched both games for like, what am I, 23? I probably watched both, like actively watched both for a long time, like 15 plus years since I was a little kid. So,
but I'm still trying to get into like what's different about.
There's just so many more moving parts. If we're talking about football, there's way more moving parts, like versus basketball.
There's more people on the field, yeah.
Yeah, and then like things like coaching comes into play. In my opinion, much more. Like, I understand coaching matters in basketball, but it's more of like game planning and things like that. Like, coaching has a direct effect on every single play in football. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to go execute that play every single time. So it's like
it's the same across both sports, to be honest. But
it's
definitely more play. There's a bigger playbook.
When you're middle, I agree. But like NBA basketball, the coach is not telling him what to do every play. Like, they're going down and hooping, especially modern day basketball. Like, they're running fast.
Yes,
they're driving and kicking.
There's a lot of preparation, and that goes into that as well. Like,
I'm not trying to minimize basketball.
Coaches, a full bench of coaches in order to,
bro,
truly
you're dragging it. You're dragging it.
Dragging it.
Yes.
How am I dragging it?
I'm not minimizing what goes into coaching a basketball game or how much preparation goes in. I understand. Like I said, there are a lot of complexities that go into the game. But if we compare it to something like football, no, it is not equal. No. Less moving parts. Like, no.
I mean, yeah, we agree on that much. There's definitely moving parts. I'll give you that. Sure.
That's a huge factor.
I mean, for sure. I guess. I mean, if you want to talk about the general understanding of the game, but we could talk in circles about it. I mean, I just feel like, again, we're talking surface level of basketball and football. Anyone could talk about that, get a firm grasp of that, you know what I mean, without getting into the nitty gritty of how coaching works and all that in football. So, I think we agree to disagree. I mean, we agree to disagree. That's all it is. Hey, take 5. Y'all got anything left on this take from LaShawn before we keep it moving? All right. Follow us everywhere. Here we go. All right, so we got another take here. I apologize to the gentleman for using this still. That's just kind of how it happened, and then I didn't want to do it again. So it is what it is. But we got another video. See what y'all got to say. Take review.
I could cry right now. Stephen A. Smith, you have single-handedly ended the LeBron and Jordan debate.
On paper, now you would figure Boston's a step ahead. Stephen A. doesn't see it that way.
The Boston Celtics have 23 NBA Finals appearances. The Los Angeles Lakers have 32. So, yes, you do have one more ring. That is fair.
Okay.
But the Los Angeles Lakers have 9 more finals appearances, which means that although they have one less title, their time spent in relevancy is significantly more than yours.
Damn.
That would make you the better overall franchise.
Wow.
I would say that the Los Angeles Lakers is still the best franchise in NBA annals.
Okay, so if that's the mathematics, LeBron James got 4 championships. Fucking Michael Jordan has 6 championships. Them 6 championships is his only finals appearances. LeBron James has been to the finals 10 fucking times. 4 more. Oh, you not doing the math? Why is we still I could.
I apologize for the language. You know, we got some more language in these videos, but Jude, what do you understand from the take that he's trying to make? I feel like you may be able to articulate it a bit better than I can, just to summarize.
I feel like
Boy needed some water.
Okay. Number one, let me just go ahead and rate the take. I know we usually do a hot take as a 5, but this is just a 0 take in terms of it's just a terrible take. We can't even put it on a scale. It's terrible. Okay? I'll just go ahead and say that to start. So number one, where he messed up. I bring this to y'all a lot when we make comparisons. When we talk about apples and oranges, we can't make comparisons in terms of apples and oranges. He's trying to compare franchises to players. So when we talk about LeBron and Michael Jordan, yes, LeBron has more finals appearances. LeBron also has played much longer than Michael Jordan did. He's still playing now. What is this, year 20s?
22 loading?
This is year 22 now. Michael Jordan, he didn't play that long. You can say LeBron's prime has been longer. That can be an argument as a LeBron fan. But if we're talking about longevity, why are you looking like that?
As a LeBron fan, you can just keep going. Keep going.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're not winning as much, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, keep going, Joe. Keep going.
But like I said, he's trying to compare franchises. These franchises have been around for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. So yes, when Stephen A makes the point about relevancy, we're talking about generations. So we had the early generation Celtics, like Bill Russell and them. They got 11 rings. We look at modern day basketball. They've fallen. I won't say they've fallen out of relevancy, but they haven't won as much in the modern day. They won with Larry Bird and them. And obviously they got one with Paul George and them. Or not Paul George, Paul Pierce and them. The Lakers, we win in every decade. Like, we didn't win as much then. That's true. Like, they had the Minneapolis Lakers. Then, what's it called? We lost all those times to Bill Russell. Then, Magic Johnson and them won 5. Then, Kobe and Shaq won. Then Kobe won. Or Kobe and Powell, if we want to keep it up. Then LeBron and Anthony Davis won. So, like, it just we win championships in every generation. So I feel like that's the point that Stephen A is trying to make. If we look at relevancy over a long period of time, yeah, the Lakers have had more sustained success. Like, I would make that point. But if we're going to move, yeah, go ahead.
You've done a great job. I just would like to add on something, information, context that I believe is relevant to this take. How many teams has LeBron played on? I mean, we had Cavs, Heat, and LA. So we have that too as well. So like
Heat, Lakers.
Yeah, so like when we talk about the shuffling the deck, if you will, it's not the same.
I mean, it's not at all.
It's not the same at all. It's definitely not the same.
So I feel like
what's up? I
just feel like the whole premise of this guy, whoever this guy is, his argument is terrible. Just because, like, if you looked at it from the most surface level view, if you took Stephen A's words, take every piece of context out of it and what you're talking about, just take those words, the transcript, and put it over to LeBron and Jordan's career, then I guess. But like, we can't do that when we're talking about sports, which we've been saying for a long time now. So,
but I mean, if you take Stephen A's words out of it, Like the fact that LeBron James went to 9 straight finals is more impressive than what Michael Jordan did.
Won 6 championships in a row, bro. Like
Never saw a game 7.
Not a row. Fine. He won 6 championships, took a break in the middle of that. Like in the middle of his prime, he took a break, bro. And he came back and won 3 more.
In a row, LeBron went to 9 finals.
That's fine. But like he only won 4 championships though. And I feel like that's a big factor. Like he won.
It is a big factor.
So how's that more impressive?
Like look at the teams he was playing.
Look at the teams that he went through to get there. We can make the same argument in both ways.
What does that matter?
Michael Jordan playing plumbers? Is that what we're saying?
Compared to the Kevin Durant Warriors, yes.
I mean, but like I said, look at the teams that he was going through to get there.
Who cares? We're talking about the finals.
What do you mean? Who cares? It matters.
Yeah, that's how you get to a
What are you
final.
talking about?
We're talking about the finals right now.
You're talking about
You have to-
getting to the finals. Is what you're talking about. Because you can't be talking about winning the finals. If we're just talking about the finals, then he lost more finals than he won. So why we're not just talking about the finals? We're
So what
talking
are you
about
saying?
the
That
finals.
like
What?
the fact that he didn't play anybody to get there downplays the fact that he was
It's
playing
not.
Kevin Durant and Steph Curry on the same team.
I'm not saying that he didn't play anyone. I'm just saying if you're gonna say he played better guys in the finals, then we have to talk about their path to getting there.
Okay, we can really talk about their path to getting there.
What do you? So go ahead.
All right, the Raptors.
What
team was Michael
DeMar
Jordan
DeRozan
playing?
and Kyle Lowry Raptors?
Yes,
It can't be-
that's not even the best team he's played.
What's the best team he's played? Boston?
Yeah,
Which
Definitely.
Boston?
the 08 Boston.
He
The ones
lost.
the one he got clapped by, you're saying.
I mean, yeah, but he played them.
He's talking about
He
2000.
And then this Boston just won a championship
5 years later. We were in high
5 years.
6 years later. Were we not in high school? We were in high school.
I mean, what
We
is
were
that?
graduated from college. Like we are actually
It's the
graduated
same
from
core
college.
team.
We're graduated from college, Jacob.
That team went to an Eastern Conference Finals.
Jacob. You just
They
said
probably
that-
would have won the finals if LeBron didn't play them.
What?
Or they would have gone to the finals. They wouldn't have won it. To the finals?
Jacob,
Hey.
we were in high school, bro. We can't say
What are we talking about? Who cares?
We are graduated from college.
What does that mean? What are you even talking about? I'm talking about a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals right now.
How is that possibly the same team?
It's the same core players.
Dude, they were
6 years ago. Like
I
what-
think it was the same.
they just got drafted. They were
Yeah,
talking
bro,
about, oh
Jason
my God,
Tatum was
19
younger
year old,
than
they
me.
made him
Teenagers.
dunk
Like,
LeBron. Like that was turn for them. Like they were 19 and 20. They're grown men now. Like what are you talking about? They got
I'm
much
saying
better.
they went to an Eastern Conference Finals, and they would have gone to the finals if they didn't run into LeBron.
Yes, congrats to them. Like shout out to them.
Hey,
Yeah, I agree.
They were also
Jacob.
kids though.
Jake,
Yeah, they can both be true.
what are you rating the take?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? That's a formidable opponent. Like that's like the team that we're like shying away from.
Bro, who was Michael Jordan's most formidable opponent?
Bro, he played the bad boys. Like, what are you talking about?
The Bad
That's how he
Boys?
was losing. Yes, the bad boys. What are you talking about? You don't remember? Like, you didn't.
All right, who else?
What?
Who else?
That and like the Cavs with like what's his name?
Mark Price.
Yeah, Mark
and all
Price.
them, and Craig Elo.
Jacob,
But
when Michael
that's
Jordan
the best
played,
two teams.
that's actually considered the golden era of basketball. You know what I mean? Like that was actually it. Like,
and the Celtics.
you know, so all of these all-timers, like these Hall of Famers that we bring up today, some of which are passing away, unfortunately, whatever, like they were all hooping during that time.
You said Mark Price?
You heard about the Dream Team?
Bro, the Celtics were also in the league. Like, the Celtics also beat Mike. What are you talking
that was
about?
a later.
You mean like Craig
That
Elo?
was
man?
earlier. That was when Mike was young. They were beating him. Absolutely, in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They lost.
That was
They
their
were a little
third.
growing.
Yes,
They were
in
a
the
little growing
playoffs.
dude.
Yes, they lost.
Like, yeah, that was the 80s. You know, that's again, it's the golden era of basketball that we're talking about. Did it transition into all of those monsters from the 90s? Like, What are you rating the take, Jacob? What are you rating this take?
I don't even remember what the take was.
Oh my god.
What was the take?
The take to summarize and what Julia, was kind of pointed to.
Oh wait, I remember.
Yeah.
No, that's a terrible take. It's a
What are you?
like a 4.5.
What are you arguing about?
What are you arguing, man?
I think he was just trying to back his boy.
You talking about my take, or you talking
No,
about
what I said was that if you take Stephen A's
words
this is my original take. If you take Stephen A's words out of it, the fact that LeBron James went to 9 straight finals is more impressive than what Michael Jordan did.
That's what he just did. That's what the guy in the video did. That was his take, basically.
No. So the guy in video was more like, okay, so since Stephen A is saying this about franchises, and comparing those, then we should be able to do that with players.
Yeah, but I'm saying
that's a completely different take.
It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, that's where he's thinking, is what I'm saying. He's thinking the same thing because LeBron went to more finals than Jordan.
I'm thinking the same thing as Stephen A. I'm not thinking
Stephen A is not thinking the same thing as you, though.
Yeah,
that's what Stephen A is not thinking that.
We there got to run back the take, but again, just to reiterate, so this is about the guy in the video. In this video that I just pulled up, he pulled up another little clip from Stephen A and them talking about how franchises between the Lakers and the Celtics, right? So even though now the Celtics have more championships than the Lakers, right? He's saying that the Lakers are still the more relevant team throughout time. So he said, okay, so if that's how we base our arguments, why can't I say that since LeBron has been to however many finals and Jordan has not been to the finals, that LeBron is supposedly the better player and we can squash the GOAT debate. That's what he was trying to get to. And yeah, he's reaching with that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and throw in my 4.5 as well. We got Miles and Ian left with this.
And it's a 4. Like it's like too simple-minded to just, like Julian's been saying, just to bring like one stat in regards to franchises over the past 70 plus years to just 2 players that you're comparing. Like that's way too simple-minded.
And he's reaching too. Like Julian said, apples and oranges.
Yeah. I give it a 4 too. I don't think you really can compare these two things. Like Julian said, like it goes back to the 50s for the Boston.
Yeah, definitely goes back to the plumbers and firemen of the world. Like for sure. Let's keep going though. We're still on the finals. I should have put this slide earlier, but just a few things. You search finals after the last game, and people have their opinions about it. So this is the worst NBA finals I've seen in my life. Not even hating. And I'm putting these together, but yeah, not even hating. This finals did not have one memorable moment. Like not one. So I ask you guys first and foremost, memorable moments from the finals. What would y'all say would those be?
No, he's kind of right.
And the crowd goes silent. Let's think about this. Like, I'd say Jaylen Brown poster dunk through the lane. That definitely was very memorable. That was a great play. But when we say memorable, Drew, I'm not saying like in an all-time sense, but like what do we think about when we think about this finals? Like those plays.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't think it was very memorable at all. Like, yeah, we do remember those this week because it just happened last week. But like, I would say probably like, I don't know, a few years down the line, like we're gonna probably remember much bigger moments from bigger series. So I feel like the only thing that we'll remember from this is like JB won the Finals MVP. And yeah, like the Celtics won. Like I don't know. Like it wasn't. There was nothing that's like burned into my memory from this series. It was. I'm not gonna say it was bad basketball, but
No, I felt like game one. You said what?
Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I feel like game one. I felt like KP made a pretty big statement. Like,
nah,
that's a good take. This is a pretty good take. That was pretty memorable. You know, the KP domination.
If he had played the whole series, but like, the whole series, it would be. I think. Like, are we going to remember one KP game or 1.5 KP games? Like,
it set the tone, dude. It really set the tone.
It definitely did. But like,
from a historical standpoint, you're never remembering. Oh yeah, KP came back for one game and like it's dominated. Like, no.
The KP game, like that's not going into the books. Like that's crazy.
That one's not going into the doc.
What? Okay, so what are we rating this take here? Worst NBA Finals you've ever seen in your life, though. So just in our lifetime, could we say that?
This is like a 1. Or like a 0.
I think that's I mean, y'all heard me texting, tweeting, everything like that. I have to completely agree with this. I've only watched, if I had to estimate, maybe 15 finals, like live, maybe something along those lines. I don't know, but yeah, I'm giving it a 1 though. It was bad.
The most memorable thing to me was Luka on the floor wriggling around.
It's crazy,
asking for a foul.
Don't try to
so
That's honestly.
I mean, you remember when Kyrie did that? Ian, help me. What did Kyrie do?
Oh yeah, when Kyrie did the.
You remember when he did?
Oh wait.
Yeah, I mean,
where?
I could be in the books, right? Like,
I feel like we need to discuss that too, because like I had more to say about Shady, but like his points, like I don't know, bro. Like I've been saying this about Luka for a long time. Like I don't know if that's gonna win. I say he's more close to James Harden than Bron, you know. But when we talk about why Kyrie didn't hoop well, like I do think a big factor in that is the fact that Luka is his teammate. I definitely do. I'm not making an excuse or anything. I just being real. You don't agree with that?
Bro, that's crazy, bro.
I don't think that is crazy because look. Kyrie plays best when Kyrie can run.
Kyrie plays best when he's ISO'd.
Yeah, like what does Luka have to do with his
Kyrie,
ISO?
That's number one, no. Like playing an ISO in this series, right? Versus the Celtics, he's kind of seeing two people when he puts the ball down. They're coming over to shrink the floor. They're shrinking the floor on Kyrie when he puts the ball down because they're facing a set defense every single time because Luka walks the ball up the court, stands there, 15 dribbles, maybe like kicks it to Kyrie, then Kyrie, you go. Or like Luka, you go. Like, I don't think that style's going to win. When Kyrie was at his best, right? Let's look at the times where he was at his best in the playoffs. Playing with LeBron, you're running. I mean, it's just factual. Like, you're running. And even when you're in ISO, like, you're not always facing a set defense. And you're getting stops. Like, I'm trying to tell you, you're getting stops. Luka playing terrible defense contributes to them not getting any stops. So they're going down and facing the Celtics set defense every single play. Like, I don't know.
Bro,
like y'all,
is he supposed to shoot for Kyrie though?
No, he's not. But I'm saying it's not helping him at all. Like it's honest. In my opinion, it's hurting him as a player. So,
but then you would turn around and tell me that again, Kyrie Irving is one of the most gifted offensive talents that we've ever seen grace the hardwood.
He is.
When I look at 12 points in 40 minutes in the finals, when I look at 5 of 16, 6 of 19. Let me make sure I got it right. These tour dates correct. 7-18. 6-19. What am I? How can you defend that? and then blame Luka for that.
I'm not defending his performance. I'm saying what contributes to his performance. We're talking a lot about him, but like kind of like Shady said, walking the ball up the court every single play and facing a set defense is not going to help your players play better. It helps Luka play because he plays at a like slow pace. No one else plays like that. It's true. And you're not getting any stops. Like I said, no stops, and you're facing a set defense every play. Like you watch basketball, you know that's a huge factor, having to face a set defense every single play. Nobody wants that.
Of course, that's a huge factor.
You get stops, your offense gets better.
Glossing over Luka's performance as well, because all of that one leg stuff Ian tried to come in here with, and again, we have to ask why. And let me just be perfectly clear why we're doing this, just so we have all the context that we need and deserve. Jacob, there was, what did it go, 5 games? It was like 4 blowouts. There was literally 4 blowouts in this game. Like, I'm talking about getting beat by 20 plus, where they emptied benches out, right? So it's like, again, both of them played bad. Both of them deserve to lose. That's just what it is. For this take here, it's definitely a 1. I'm gonna agree with y'all on that one. Because yeah, it was just bad for that very reason. Let's keep it moving though. So I got a few more, but let's get through this one very quickly. I'm gonna blow it up. So another Hooper turn analyst. We got Joel Embiid on if the Celtics are becoming a dynasty. He said, I don't think so, not with the new CBA rules. And you also got to understand the whole East was hurt, myself included. Okay. Pretty thorough comments, to be honest. Like those are kind of crazy comments.
Morgan, you said like that whole statement before, like
because I'm me. I'm not Joel Embiid that has to hoop. Like I'm me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm part of this podcast. Like
you just said he was an analyst,
dude. But that's not for him to say. Is all I'm saying. He can think it. You know what I mean? He can say that behind closed doors. You don't get a mic and say something like, "Oh, the whole East was hurt. That's why they're there." Like you don't say that. Like
I mean,
you don't.
It was even worse this year though. Like Giannis was hurt, JB was hurt, Tyrese Halliburton was hurt, he was hurt, but Jimmy Butler was hurt. That's like
dude, to make it worse though. But he mentioned himself as well. He was playing. He lost. He went out there and lost to Jaylen Brown.
He couldn't dunk the ball. Like he couldn't.
On God, he did.
Huh?
On God, he did, and he could. Like
he did.
So it's just like again, he was out there playing. He put up 50 points in a game. That same Joel was hurt.
Person did that in the playoffs too, by the way. But the point of the of the thing of the tweet was just like the East was hurt, but like the teams can get better. Like that's the point. Like the Celtics aren't gonna
shut up.
The Celtics aren't gonna be like.
I'm not even trying to.
They're
hear
not gonna
all
be
that.
looking this dominant every year.
Trying to hear all that. Like no, Ian. No,
they just look, dude. The Celtics look like a dynasty because the East was so hurt this year. That's true.
Okay, let's get into the take then. Since we talking dynasties now. Julian, you win one time. One time.
It's too far to say dynasty. That's definitely premature to say the least.
What
like,
time?
We gotta see if number one, like a lot of times in basketball, like the healthiest team will win. And like that checked out with them in a way, like Porzingis was out, but like they just had so much depth and their team is built so well and their stars stay healthy. But I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a little early to say dynasty for the Celtics. We got to see what happens. To Joel's point, we have to see what happens next year. You know, I assume Jimmy Butler will play. I don't assume Joel Embiid will play. That's my issue with the take was that as Joel Embiid, we don't want to see you on ESPN. Go get healthy. You go and get healthy so we have no excuses to make for you next year. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, I'm tired of excuses for him. I'm tired. Like
that he was making excuses.
Yeah. Those are excuses.
Oh, his injury last year was an excuse.
Yes.
Yeah, it's every year, bro. At some point, we have to say it's just consistent.
every year.
He's consistently hurt or consistently a
What does
playoff
hurt? What does
disappointment.
hurt mean? See, this is my problem.
He's
Hurt,
consistently a playoff
tournament
disappointment.
What?
The facts are the facts. He's consistently a disappointment in the playoffs.
He's consistently hurt. And how is he a disappointment this year? He led the team in points. He was the only person to score 50 points
Was it
in
the
the
first
playoffs.
round, Julian?
You lost in the first. Yeah, you lost in the first round.
He lost in the first round because the team we were playing was better. I told y'all how far the Knicks were the whole year, and y'all didn't listen to me. I don't know what you're shaking your head at.
Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. No, I had to leave Ian off of this one.
The Knicks also were hurt, to Ian's point. But go ahead, Mark.
Hear Ian speak on the Sixers throughout the year, and then for him to turn around and say that the Knicks. Now, Jacob, this is not just the regular Knicks. The Knicks with half of OG Anunoby, no Julius Randle, half of Mitchell Robinson were a better team than Kelly Oubre, and now we got Kyle Lowry here and Tyrese Maxey. He's a top guard in the East. That was crazy for him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And Tobias is the number.
I am in disbelief that would come out of
that was
mouth.
insane.
Dude, it was not insane. I've been telling you how, dude, Morgan, were the Knicks not the number 2 seed in the East? Were they not? Even with them being hurt.
No, tell me it was that team that went out and played y'all. Tell me it was that team that was number 2. Yeah,
they were hurt the whole entire second half of the season and kept.
Did they have more injuries than you on their team?
What?
Did the Knicks have more injuries, more people out in and out of the lineup than the 76ers?
It doesn't matter, dude. They were the second.
Everything
they were the second seed though when they were having those injuries. It didn't matter, dude. They kept
not because Dante DiVincenzo was their starter.
What?
No, that's not why. That's not why they were the second seed.
So why were they
not
the
the same team?
Why were they the second seed then?
Because they had OG and coming in.
OG did not play the second half of the season, bro. Why do you keep saying that?
What?
OG was not playing the second half of the season like that. What are you talking about?
But he still came in and they rattled off 15 wins?
Bro, and then he got hurt.
That.
And then he got hurt.
Though. And then
and then there was 4 months of JB just carrying them to the second seed. Bro, their team was good. I'm not gonna let you.
I'm gonna squash it once and for all. Jalen Brunson or Maxey?
Jalen Brunson.
Okay, we'll go Brunson. What's his name? Dante DiVincenzo or whoever y'all had at 2. Who did y'all play at 2?
Lowry? I think Maxey was our 2, and Lowry was our 1.
Yeah, Maxey would be the 2. So all right. I'll go Brunson and Kyle Lowry. We'll take Brunson. Maxey, DiVincenzo, go Maxey. Oubre.
Josh Hart.
I
told you how good Josh Hart was the middle of the year. Hey. You scoffed at Josh Hart for some reason. I told you Josh Hart was a very good piece to that team.
I have receipts.
Too.
You called Kelly Oubre an all-star.
Bro, that was not a real comment, bro. That was like when he was playing well, and I was like, he's playing like an all-star. Like, that was not true. When y'all take those texts out of context, that's actually true. Like, you can look at them.
I legit have to look up their team though.
Bro, their team was solid. Like, we're not gonna act like they didn't.
Who was the 4?
OG.
Yeah, I guess
when he was there.
Josh Hart was the 4, but OG was the 3.
Josh Hart was the 4.
He led the playoffs in rebounds, like the whole first round. What are we talking about? Like, we're gonna act like they didn't play 5, like all 5 of them.
They played well. They beat you. That's what happened.
Yeah, I didn't say they didn't play well. They were not better than y'all though.
Bro, if we're gonna talk about like their bench as well, like I think they're probably a little bit better than us,
bro.
Roster wise,
you have the best player. If you have the best player in the East, which you claim to have, maybe second. I don't know how you feel about Giannis, but if you have the best player in the East and he's playing, you shouldn't lose in the first round.
But JB was playing the best in the East, actually. Like, he was averaging 34 points per game.
Is JB better than Joel? Yes or no?
On one leg, it was about the same. They're about the same. JB put up 8 40-point games. Julian, he put up 8 40-point games.
That is all we need to hear, bro.
8.
That's all we need to hear.
I've been telling you how JB was the whole year. I don't know why you're acting like I'm just riding JB's coattails.
But
I told you
Jalen
JB was the
Brunson-
one.
But Jalen Brunson was putrid in like 2 or 3 games to start that
games.
series.
2
He
games,
was
and
putrid.
then he went on
Couldn't
4
find the
40
cup.
straight point games. 4
But he
40
couldn't
point
find the
games.
cup. That's all I'm trying to tell you. That's all I'm saying. I just wanted to make that point. He's good at all, but hey, I'll give you OG. I'll give you OG. It looks like they play 6 guys, 7 guys, maybe. Yeah, then Miles McBride somewhere in there. He started some games in the playoff.
He won them game 1.
And then they had Hardenstein running the 5. OG over Tobias. Yeah.
They're about equal, probably. And
They're
OG
equal-ish. You know, OG gonna give you more on defense. I give you that, maybe.
Bro, OG is a solid offensive.
Tobias sucks. We can go ahead and just establish that Tobias sucks.
I mean,
especially
I don't think he sucks, but you know, he's not good. Like,
he's not a good player in the playoffs.
Bro, the point is, like, the East, like, I think the Knicks are a pretty good team. Like, I think the Sixers are a good team. Like,
that team they put on the floor in the playoffs was not better than y'all squad, though. I refuse to acknowledge that.
You had a very good chance to beat that team. I don't know why you're acting like you didn't. Like,
I didn't say we didn't.
Yeah, and then we bring in the Buddy Hields of the world that you were praising, and we bring in the campaigns you were praising.
They
Like,
had
we
good
go
games
through all
when
that.
they played.
Huh?
They had good games when they played.
You're right. Like, they're, you know, solid players, solid role guys. So I mean, I'm taking your team. That's the only point I was trying to make. That's the only point I was trying to make here. And you were kind of downplaying what y'all, you know, you told me this was the best Sixers team that y'all have had. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like when we get into that, you can't even beat the Tattered Knicks, then it gets weird. Y'all got anything else on this take?
Second seed in the East. Yeah.
Before we move to the let's go ahead and move on.
Can't be the second seed in the East.
You lost in the first round.
Second seed.
You lost in the first round.
We were the 7th seed, Julian.
Because I mean, you know, Daddy got hurt, so you know how it is from there. Y'all ain't got no other stars, so like it gets major. For sure, indeed. All right.
Man, modern journalism is finished. Like, man, I get it. We're in the dog days of summer for baseball. You know, the NBA Finals is a little boring. NHL Finals is boring, but come on, man, this is just bad. Like, I understand the point of, like, entertainment, but, like, this is just bad. This is just bad content that nobody wants to watch. Like, you could have entertainers. We had the Skate Baylesses. We had the Max Kellermans, but this is just bad, man. LeBron follows Big Perk on social media. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I mean, it's funny, and it might bring clicks, but, like, man, this is just lazy. Like, what happened to the good debates, man? Also, like, debates on First Take is just so emotional now. Like, Max Kellerman and Stephen A. see it all the time, but Max and Stephen were always very calm with each other. Like, it was never screaming. Max always was chill and really had good factual evidence for any take that he had.
Better player under pressure than the great Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yes, he is. Kobe, no one had more heart than Kobe.
And dude, Max would get a lot of heat for that. But like, that's not a crazy take. Like, that was like part of the reason why he got fired, or just takes like that in general. But like, you see how he has evidence, and he like backs it up very calmly. Doesn't just freak out immediately.
Okay, so we got a little take here about media and sports media in particular. I need to really pull that up, but yeah, let me make sure I got this correct. It's not on there anyway. But basically, it was a segment on First Take talking about LeBron unfollows Kendrick Perkins on social media. And they had this whole thing. I don't know if you remember, Kendrick claimed, you know, Bron was ducking smoke, didn't want to hear about himself and all this, that, and the other. Like, I put a comment on there. I told him I don't really watch First Take anymore, but I don't know. It's different now. It's definitely different now. Sports media, is it going downhill? Like when we talk about the ESPNs, we talk about Skip Bayless and them, you know, coming on and what they do now. Yeah, so that's the take 1 through 5.
It's like 3. I feel like there's a lot of nostalgia setting in when it comes to like people our age. Like, yeah, we miss when it was like Skip Bayless and Shannon, or like we miss the Max and Stephen A. Because that was nice. Like, that was entertaining. We enjoyed that. But like, if I'm looking at it like objectively now, like I don't think it's completely going downhill. Like, yes, the Skip Bayless show is probably going downhill without Shannon, but now Shannon's on ESPN. And when he gets on with Stephen A, like it's still pretty good. I don't get to watch it every day, but when I can, I'll tune into that. Like when Shannon and Stephen A are on together. And then also like we have guys like the Pat McAfee show. Like they're very good on TV, like very good. That's probably the funniest show that I've tapped into on ESPN, maybe ever. But they also are like a little political and definitely biased towards like the people that they like when we look at like how they view Caitlin Clark. Like they don't know anything about basketball except for they love Caitlin Clark. And that's okay, but like I don't think it's completely going downhill. We still have some big like personalities, like Shannon Sharp has risen to be like probably one of the top guys. Pat McAfee and his crew, they're rising to be one of the top, crews, and he's definitely one of the top guys. Stephen A still on top, and then like me personally, I enjoy it when Kendrick Perkins gets on TV and starts talking. Like that's like I don't know if it's his analysis, but he's funny. Like his delivery is funny. It's entertainment. So I get what they're saying, but I don't know. It's not that bad to me. Like the Mad Dogs, though, the Mad Dogs of the world. Like when I used to see Mad Dog get on TV and stuff, and I had to turn that off. Like when he starts yelling and stuff, I don't. Nah.
He definitely be yelling about nothing. I have mixed emotions because the First Take, of course, is definitely much different than what it used to be with the Maxes of the world and all that. But I'd say I'd watch First Take more like I'd say in 2023 up until maybe some months ago than I used to. Like Julian said it when they put Shannon Sharp on there, like that's been turned. Like everybody tunes in Monday, Tuesdays to see that because they have a good bounce off each other, whatever. And I like it better than that JJ Redick thing they was doing. That's neither here nor there. But they're good TV personalities. They're funny. The thing about Big Perk is funny as well. His takes definitely have been very, very questionable. Yeah, very, very questionable. That's Ian's favorite analyst because again, that questionable just kind of attracts, I guess, when it comes down to it. So
he be putting y'all on game. Y'all just don't listen.
Nah, not really. He's had very thorough takes. Very thorough. I may even be able to pull one up, but now he's definitely had some very thorough takes. My thing is, and again, this is no shade, this is no hate or whatever. You have to preface it with that, and you know where I'm going. The Monica McNutt thing, in my eyes, that was strange. It came the whole Caitlin Clark thing that we got going.
What part was strange?
I'm getting ready to explain.
All right, go ahead.
In my eyes, I felt that was strange. A lot of people have their mixed feelings about Stephen A. Like as an analyst, person, what have you. I only know what I've seen on the TV. That's all I know. And what he says, what he tells us, whatever. But like, he funny. He's a personality. He has his take. He has his opinions. He be strong setting those. I've seen times where he's had to come back on things, apologize even on national television for things that he said of that nature, whatever. Monica McNutt got on First Take and she publicly basically said to Stephen A, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have been promoting the WNBA, but you chose not to until, the Caitlin Clark. We know how race plays into effect with it, this, that, and the other. in my opinion, Julian, Stephen A has his own show. He does. No. Listen to me though. Stephen A has his own show. He produces. He's the CEO, I believe. He creates like the show plan, everything like that. But he still has a boss. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about ESPN, Disney as a whole. These are multi-billion-dollar. Like, so if he were to go against their wishes, I don't want to say anything too bad, but like he'd be regular at that point. You know what I'm saying? He has a boss. He has to adhere to what, people want to see, want to hear about, whatever. Nobody was talking about the WNBA. Like they really were not until, all of this storm has happened. We haven't seen this before. So yes, they're going to cover it. They're going to talk about it a lot much more, but I'm opening it up to y'all though.
Real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah, what you think,
like,
Joe?
To that point, like to your point, I think that was her point. Like, number one, Stephen A as the producer of First Take, and he has the Stephen A Smith podcast, right? He has two.
Yeah.
So Stephen A Smith as the producer of First Take, he does have almost autonomy. Like he has a lot of power. Like he chooses what to talk about. Like, yes, you say he has to answer to the man or whatever, but like, come on, bro. Like Stephen A is bringing the money in. So he has a lot of power. When you're bringing the money in, bringing the viewers in, you have most of the leverage, I would say. So he could choose what to talk about. And that was her point. Like the reason that she was so upset that day, I watched that day actually. The reason
I didn't watch the full thing.
The reason that she and Janae were so upset was because like Stephen A and Shannon and them like decided to kick off the show. They kicked off the show with the Caitlin Clark stuff. And yes, like that was big news, but like they're just saying that same energy wasn't kept for like even the other big players. Like that wasn't kept when Angel Reese got punched in the face by Alyssa Thomas. Not punched in the face, but punched in the back of the head by Alyssa Thomas like the week prior. Obviously that wasn't kept like you said, like we weren't talking about it as much, but like that wasn't kept for Candace Parker and even for Aja Wilson when she got knocked down, she was bleeding. So like that was her point. Like, she's saying, why are we kicking the show off with this if we didn't do it for those other girls? And like, yes, it's because it's Caitlin Clark, but they're saying like Stephen A is always a guy who's like, I'm an advocate for social justice and black people and all this stuff. Like, if you were truly, why didn't you do this last week for Angel Reese? You know what I'm saying? It's not like she's a little topic. Like, you absolutely could kick off your show with Angel Reese. You could. So I feel like it's a cop-out to say, like, he has to answer to his bosses and stuff. Like, I don't agree. Like, he wants to do what he wants to do, and, like, it's fine that Caitlin Clark is the top dog. Like, she's the top attraction in terms of women's sports right now. So I get why he did it, but I'm just saying they were asking for the same energy, and he didn't provide that. So
yeah, I agree with that. The part is kind of weird, but I mean, I feel like the big part though was like they were trying to say like a couple of years ago, I feel like the WNBA wasn't at the height it is now. Like even with all the rookies, like I feel like he is capitalizing on it right now. I just don't feel like he probably could have 4 or 5 years ago. Really,
I agree.
Not the same, at least.
Yeah, I agree.
To the Angel Reese point, that's kind of separate from what I'm thinking. I'm thinking more along the lines of what Ian just said, like about the WNBA throughout the years. I mean, yes, he's touched on it, you know what I mean? At some point, it's just depending on what's going on, what's happening. But yeah, I mean, Drew, you get to the top by talking about the most relevant things in sports.
No, I agree.
Right? So because the WNBA has not been relevant, it has not been as marketable as a lot of these other sports. I just feel like, when you have a show like this, you want to be the number one in views, this, that, and the other. You have to talk about what people are talking about. Now the world's talking about Caitlin Clark. That's what it is. So that's kind of where it's gone right now. And the other issue, before I let you go again, I had like, and even if you feel that way, because there is validity to it, right? publicly, like she publicly got on that man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's somebody who brought you onto the show because of your knowledge about the WNBA, et cetera, et cetera. Like I don't know. I don't know if I agree with the way she went about it.
I'm fine with that. I think they were saying that, like, yeah, like, of course, Stephen A is going to talk about what's popular, what's the hot topic.
Yeah.
But they're saying, to y'all's point, the WNBA wasn't popular, but that was also because the media didn't push the WNBA at all. And, like, we can say that there's nothing to push, but, like,
not necessarily.
If we talk just about last year, like, let's say last year, like, what did we hear about Asia Wilson and the Aces? Like, yeah, like things come up every now and then.
Yeah,
like in terms of like consistency, you know, like, and it's the summer. There's really not sports on, like not other sports, and they don't talk about baseball, like almost never.
Can't.
Yeah, so they never really pushed like Asia Wilson as like she was a dominant force in the league, like a star. We didn't really talk about that. So like that's like, they were just saying real quick. They were just saying like, if you're gonna act like you really care about the WNBA and you care about the success, because that's been the whole point, right? Like the Caitlin Clark deserves this and this so we can advance the game. They're saying if you're gonna act like you only care about advancing the game, why were you not trying to push the game forward with our past stars like you are now? That's what they're saying.
It's powerful things at work behind the scenes of why the WNBA is not marketed as much as it could be. And that's why I leave it. Take that as how you would like it. Well, let's get to the last slide because we over time now. You know I had to touch on this though. At Take 5, make sure y'all follow us everywhere. JJ Redick, who is now the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, has the most important ally in that locker room and on that team. LeBron, as in LeBron Ramon James, will not let JJ Redick fail.
Preach.
You know how many folks LeBron has let fail? Like, do you know how many folks that claim to be LeBron's dog and then failed? Like, nah. Let me narrow the scope. How many coaches has LeBron James played for? And if you had to guess, if you had to think. All right, let's talk about of course, the Ty Lues, the David Blatts.
Probably like 8.
You know, Lakers, we done had a couple in a couple years, Drew. I mean, we had a couple in a couple years. We talk about Vogel, right? We talk about what's his name? Ham that we just had. Now we got JJ.
Mike Brown.
Oh, you get Mike Brown for real. Like, there's a lot of guys.
Ulstra.
We got a lot of guys, man. I mean,
did any of these guys have a podcast with them though? Like, were they cool? Like, were they shaking hands? Like, were they chopping up?
I think Ty Lue was his guy, and Mike Brown definitely was his guy.
I mean, yeah.
Ty Lue's definitely his guy. He's still his guy. But
he did well with both of them.
I mean,
bro. Yeah. I'm gonna open it up. I'll let y'all speak on it. We'll rate the take.
Go ahead. Oh, you said let's go?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, in terms of rating this take, I don't think it's a bad take. Like, if you have an ally in LeBron who, like, let's just keep it real. Like, we are now the Clutch Sports Lakers. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, obviously LeBron and Clutch Sports, Rich Paul and them have, you know, taken control over our team. We decided to hire Mind the Game co-host JJ Redick to be our next head coach with no coaching experience ever. So I mean, we're not going to act like that. That's not a factor, right? That's a huge factor. Like, so to that point, I don't think this take on the screen is a bad take. With him being buddy with LeBron, who has all the power on the team, and I guess Anthony Davis too. He also is a clutch guy. Maybe not as tied in though, which is interesting. But with him being an ally to Clutch Sports, I think he'll be okay. I don't think the leash will be super short. I think he'll have kind of room to grow in the first year, and, you know, hopefully we'll have good success. Why are you looking like that? I really don't.
Bro.
Yeah. There will be growing pains. He's never coached an NBA game before. He's never coached a college game or high school game. There's going to be growing pains. Like,
I mean, what are your expectations then? I
mean, we need to make the playoffs and try to have success in the playoffs. Like, it depends on what we do with the roster. But yeah, like I don't think it'll be like a championship or bust for the Lakers and like JJ just gets fired. Like, I don't think so.
I said I would let you go in. Context. Let's just get the context straight. Like the timeline of events that have transpired just recently. Let it be known that Darvin Ham would kiss the floor that LeBron James walks on. Am I wrong in saying that? He praises him everywhere. LeBron this, LeBron that. Greatest player ever. He's on my team. You know, we gonna go where LeBron goes. That was Darvin Ham, right? I thought he was an ally. Then we start a Mind the Game podcast, Julian. No, Julian. Let me make sure. Let me make sure though. We start a podcast right before the NBA playoffs. It like we really did that. You know what I'm saying? In the Mind the Game podcast, just so we all know what that is. He's talking X's and O's with JJ. How I'd run this, you know, what would I do? What sets would I personally run? You know, and doing all this, that, and the other. Like Stephen A went through this entire thing too. And I'm really just reiterating what he said. You did all of that. And now we're getting rumors, oh, you know, Lakers, Darvin Ham, he's on the hot seat all during the same time. Like, that was never his dog. That couldn't have been his homie.
No, absolutely not.
That couldn't have been his homie. Like, and again, would throw rose petals at LeBron James' feet if he could. He'd drink his bathwater if he could. You know what I'm saying? He probably knows every tattoo on his body, Ian. He probably does. He loved LeBron that much. He just folded on him. But anywho, Ian, what you got about that?
Well, for the take, I'll probably give it I'll probably give it a 1.
You're sick.
I do think him and LeBron's like relationship and like their understanding of each other and like and of the game does matter. I think it might be a little bit rough, like y'all said, like coming into the season. Like he'll definitely have some growing pains, but I do think they can get over them pretty easily with a better roster. And if LeBron and AD stay healthy, like I think they can win some games. Probably get in the playoffs. So yeah, I don't think that he's gonna let JJ fail. But to y'all's point about JJ being some unexperienced coach, like he has experience in the NBA. You wanted Dan Hurley, who knows nothing about the NBA, who wants to bring in new sets into the NBA. JJ knows plays that work in the NBA. He knows the players. He knows he's been in the playoffs 14 out of 15 years in his career, right? So like he knows playoff. He has playoff experience. Like he knows what it takes in the playoffs. So I mean, I don't know what you wanted from a coach.
So okay, can I just address that point? I know it's not the same as I said earlier, but like that's like saying. So would you rather take Nick Saban to be your next head coach of the Eagles, right? Say the Eagles lose their
Nick Saban, yeah, keep going.
Okay, would you rather
Nick Saban? Keep going. You said Nick Saban.
All right, you want me to? I'll make it easier. Would you rather take Kirby Smart to be your next coach? I thought that's way better comparison to Dan
that's
Hurley.
better. That's better.
Would you rather take Kirby Smart to be your next head coach, or would you rather take
Jason Kelce?
LaShawn McCoy.
No. It's not even Jason
McCoy.
How is it not Jason Kelce?
It's not. Jason Kelce's that's too high. We have to go to,
it can't be anybody that's won either. Like, you're winning anything.
Whoa,
like
we have
it's
to
gotta
go
be
to.
like.
Would you rather take like a?
You got to be a specialist, really.
Antonio
you got to be
Pierce.
on special teams, like
Jake Matthews. But
What about Antonio Pierce? What about Antonio Pierce?
Antonio Pierce is a champion. He
Shut up,
coached.
bro.
What do you mean? He was currently on a staff and got promoted. Like he was currently on a staff. Like he coached for multiple years prior to getting a head coaching job. Like that.
What was his coaching position?
Okay, Jeff Saturday.
Yeah,
that's
not fair though. That's not fair because
that actually happened though.
We already saw what Jeff Saturday did.
Okay,
though.
before you knew.
Would I take
Jeff
maybe
Saturday?
maybe why not like a Dan Orlovsky or something like that?
Okay, yeah, Dan.
Yeah, he
Dan
had to play it. I feel like
that's fair. That's very fair.
I mean,
Dan knows the
first
game.
of all,
Dan
went
every day on TV.
Analyst,
First of all, Dan Orlovsky went 0-16, and like he never
playing
was
for
in
the
the playoffs, bro. He was never in the playoffs that much. And what the Lakers need is a person who knows basketball in the playoffs. What?
Dan Orlovsky played quarterback. Dan knows the game.
Yeah,
I personally think he should get a job. I think Dan should get a job on the team. Like, I don't know, as a play caller, but like as a quarterback coach, something like that. Like he knows
smart.
it. Yeah, but like I'm answering my question. Kirby Smart or Dan?
I think this is totally different though, because like you said, football's it's a lot especially at the head coaching position. This is true. Like I feel like a lot of head coaches in the NFL, like they don't have to know as much ball. Like in the NBA, you need to know more ball than like camaraderie and stuff like that. Like I feel like it's a lot more intellectual. I feel like in the NBA. So I probably would take Dan Orlovsky just for the
You're
You're
lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying.
Dude, I don't rock with Kirby like that. So like I'm going with people like I know who would get my locker room right. Like that's true. Like
lying.
You're lying. Connections in the NBA. You know how to get the best out of everyone. Like, come on, bro.
You're lying. You're lying.
I'm not.
You are
See,
lying.
I wasn't even on actually. Darvin Ham was on that 2004 championship team, bro. There you go. That was an NBA champ that we let walk,
bro. Was he a 14-year vet though?
He played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He even played in Spain a little bit.
Yeah, see, not the same, bro. JJ has been in the NBA his whole 10
years.
20 years. Or I mean 15 years. Like
14.
JJ 14.
Don't try to drag it.
JJ's been around the game. What I'm trying to say is JJ's been around the game. He's been around the playoffs. Like he has so much experience. Like maybe not coaching wise, but like he knows.
JJ Redick was a role player.
But that doesn't matter though. He was able to affect winning. Like that's true.
Cool.
So when we saw Steve Nash, a 2-time league MVP, assist man, you understand? You remember him? He was no type of role player where he played, by the way. Just so we have all that context. Like he's one of the greatest point guards to have ever lived.
Yeah.
We saw him in a coaching job, and we haven't seen him since.
I mean, he did pretty well. I felt like when his team was healthy. When his team was healthy.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. He didn't do well. His team was tough.
Shut up, Julian. Shut up, Julian.
What do you mean? Shut up. We saw him have to try to coach. It was terrible.
I'll give you another example. Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr comes off of broadcasting into coaching, wins 4 finals. What's the difference between him and JJ? I want to know right now. What's the difference between that Steve Kerr who was on my 2K telling me what I was shooting, and now he's getting out here winning championships with Golden State? What's the difference between that and JJ?
You or me?
All right, whoa.
Go ahead.
What's the difference? You on one thing or multiple?
Bro, I want to know what sets them so far apart that JJ is like the worst candidate possible.
I don't think
it's not a huge gap.
I don't think he's the worst possible.
No, definitely not the worst possible. But you definitely, again, when you talk about coaching LeBron, right? Not a young Steph Curry, Green, you know what I'm saying? He might be pretty good or whatever, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like to coach LeBron James in his 22nd year, he's chasing rings, Anthony Davis, you know what I mean? And command that locker room. These are 2 different jobs, by the way. No, those are 2 different jobs that he's taking on. Is that fair to say?
Yes, but all he needs, I feel like, in this job is respect, and then everything else will fall into place.
Respect. How do you get respect?
By winning.
By earning it, yeah. Definitely by earning it.
I mean,
he has no merit to go by. That's all we're trying to say.
That's fine.
Right.
My only thing with this hire is, as the other guys in the locker room, right? So the non-clutch guys, how are you feeling? Like LeBron is your teammate, but he's also like your coach in this kind of scenario, right? Like, we know how LeBron is. Like, LeBron is very hands-on in terms of like how the game's going to be played, how his teams are going to run things and stuff like that already. Then he gets on a podcast with JJ Redick and gets JJ Redick the job to come coach the Lakers. That's true. It's true. Don't look like that. It's true. So this year we're gonna bring in new guys to come on our team. I assume. Like, I think D'Lo's gonna opt out. I bet he'll be gone. So there's gonna be new guys, probably a new point guard, who have to come in and run these, like, this new JJ Redick system. How are you gonna feel with LeBron as your teammate and also the guy who got to coach the job? Like, you not
wait,
like,
Joe, can I add something too that we have to think about? So I mentioned a little bit earlier in this podcast, but what a lot of people maybe on the surface level, casual watchers, don't understand about basketball is that it's a coaching staff. You know what I mean? Like, you as a head coach are only as good as the staff that you put together. We mentioned Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr has had some very, very great assistant coaches. We talk about Kenny Atkinson, the Mike Browns of the world. Even Luke Walton was good. He's had some very guys to, bounce ideas off, this, that, and the other. I'm wondering personally, who is JJ Redick going to handpick for his staff, and who wants to be a part of a JJ Redick coaching regime, and why? These are questions we also have to ask, and they'll be answered in time, of course, but we'll see. Because we let a lot of people go on our coaching staff, not just Ham.
They say Rondo. They said Rondo.
Okay, another guy with no experience, great basketball mind, but no experience.
And then, I don't know. I heard like Phil Handy again, but like, I don't think that he would come back after just getting fired
to work for JJ. I don't know why he'd do that.
Yeah,
I hope he would, but I don't know why he would do that.
And then I heard like Sam Cassell too, who's been an assistant coach for like 15 years. I don't know, 10 years. So would he want to come work for JJ Redick either? Like, I don't know. So
would he just got his job stolen by a guy who hasn't put that work in? Like,
yeah. So
I personally would feel away. That's me. I'm not the guy that's put in all those years coaching, playing, being around the game, blood, sweat, and tears. I haven't done that. So, I don't want to speak for the man, but I'm just interested in seeing how that feels out. And you talked about respect. The players have to respect who they're being coached by. It can't just be a group of guys that, haven't done it or whatever. Like, we may respect as players and their tenure as players, but not as leaders of a basketball team. All goes into it. I'll give you this though, Ian. There have been coaches. We talk about the Steve Kerrs. Doc Rivers was an analyst before being a coach. You know what I mean? There are people that have made that transition and have been all right and have been good. But there are also many, many, many others who have failed miserably, and we have not seen again because of this. Lakers' job is no joke. You know that.
That's fair.
Who's going to get the blame?
I mean, depends what the roster looks like, in my opinion.
We're not bringing Westbrook on our team, so it's going to be JJ. We're gonna point our finger at our inexperienced head coach and wonder.
We already know the vibes. Like, we always know this. Like,
that's fair.
Anytime LeBron's on the team, we have to build in a scapegoat. Built-in scapegoat. So
we have to.
It was D'Lo and Darvin Ham. This team, it will be JJ Redick and somebody else. So I don't know. I don't know.
It like Julius saying, it's the circle of life. It's definitely a circle of life. So now let's circle back to this take. LeBron is going to act as a shield He's not stopping me. He is not stopping me. I will be the first one. I'm letting you know. What is it, June? I'm letting you know in June. The first thing that will come out of my mouth will be a critique about our coaching and the way our team is performing, coming out each and every game. But I'm going to say, LeBron is not stopping me. He's not shielding him from me.
It has to be an ally internally. Like, he's not, we know LeBron. LeBron will almost never come and speak out in support of a coach publicly. That's not going to happen, but he can't allow JJ to lose that locker room early. Like, that can't happen.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like JJ, I feel like you said, like, your expectations aren't to like win a championship. So I feel like if he can just get them to the playoffs.
What?
Julian just said that. I asked him what the expectations were. He said,
I don't think it's championship or bust. I said go to the playoffs and win games.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think JJ's going to be under so much scrutiny or the finger's always going to be pointed at him early on. Like, people are going to realize how bad the roster is. Like, that's a known fact. Like, the roster's
not bad.
Compared to the West, it's not good.
I mean, they have a lot of wiggle room this summer. So
they do. That's true.
Julian, it's not championship or bust.
I don't think so.
Realistically,
then what are we hoping to accomplish?
Bro, the expectations will be like from the media, from our fan base, it will be, but
internally.
It will be from them, yeah. I'm talking about me.
I don't care about y'all. I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
we have LeBron James. He's in his heyday. He's still playing well. We got Anthony Davis. He's still a top big. He was on the all defense team. Like, what do you mean it's not championship?
For me,
they're going out there to win.
For me personally, I don't think that the Lakers, as it stands, like, obviously there's a lot of chips to fall with the roster between now and the time that we tip off.
Sure.
As it stands, I don't think that we're going to win the championship next year.
That's
but
crazy.
The guys on the team, like, your point is true. Like, I agree with that. Your point about the guys on the team thinking that, it's very true. Like, LeBron is old. If he says he wants to win, like, it's got to be now. Anthony Davis is getting up there. Not old, but like, he only has so much longer with LeBron. It's got to be now. Like, those younger guys have taken enough steps. They've have enough playoff experience. Like, it should be now for the Lakers. So, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely now. No, it most definitely is now. It has to be. This is actually the worst take on here in my eyes. This is definitely the worst take in my eyes. LeBron, and I'm not. This is not even hate on him. Like, I'm not even trying to like talk bad about Bron because, like, I rock with Bron to an extent, but he moves with the wind though. You know what I mean? He's definitely going to move with the win. If it is a situation where, okay, AD's not rocking with JJ or whatever, so-and-so, let's say we still had D'Angelo Russell, even though he going to Detroit. D'Angelo Russell's not getting in for, Austin Reeves getting more minutes than D'Angelo Russell, something like that. D'Angelo Russell, he's going to get up there with his little drink. He's going to say some slick stuff or whatever. It's going to be a whole thing. You know what I mean? It's going to be a whole thing. And I don't see LeBron he's not going to sacrifice himself. He'll do what he can for sure. He's definitely not going to sacrifice himself, his image, his whatever, cachet, whatever you want to call it, for JJ Redick just because they had a podcast. It's not happening.
I think y'all are undermining their relationship, though. I think that
what relationship? Where have you seen JJ and LeBron James before Mind the Game? Where have you seen them?
Why do you think LeBron picked JJ Redick out of all the people who do podcasts?
Because JJ Redick wasn't trying to do hot takes. That's why.
Bro, I mean,
he wasn't Shady McCoy with it. He didn't want to talk bad on players or anything like that. They had the idea to do it all about X's and O's. That was their thing.
LeBron can talk about X's and O's with any basketball player,
but they don't want to talk about that though.
Bro, but they could. That's
you're not getting Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas is not giving up his podcast to go talk X's and O's with LeBron.
Okay, exactly, bro. This is exactly what I'm saying. Their relationship over basketball, like, it's different than a lot of people's. Like,
You don't know that.
that.
You have no evidence to back that claim.
Like
And all I'm
Draymond,
saying is too is Julian. He already had old in the 3 where that's what they do every week.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why he was chosen. That's why.
That's not true. They
Nobody
do hot
else
takes
does
on there. Whatever, bro.
Who else does it? Who else in the basketball space with JJ Redick's level of, oh, I'm on ESPN, I'm on broadcast, whatever, does a podcast that's not centered around, narratives, takes, or anything of that nature, just to purely talk about the sport of basketball without being relevant or trying to get clicks? You can give me a name. I'd like to tune in.
I mean, Draymond, he does that to an extent.
Draymond.
He does that to an extent. Like the clips you see are just the hot takes. He gets into basketball. On God, he gets into basketball. You're just looking at the hot takes, bro.
They got to rap.
Brian has yet to be on Draymond's podcast to this day.
Dude,
What are we talking about?
Dude, it has nothing to do with the X's and O's. I'm telling you, Draymond and LeBron could talk X's and O's. Like, I'm just saying, JJ Redick, like they have a different relationship. Like, that's just
LeBron will not sacrifice his brand for that tomfoolery. You think he's going to tether himself to Draymond Green over a podcast? Be real.
They're already like
Think
best
like
buddies.
Clutch.
Like they're already butt buddies.
outside of basketball.
Dude, yeah, outside. Let's go to the little party, or whatever like that. Dude, LeBron, he's a machine. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people around him is a well-oiled and greased machine. They know what they're doing. That's all I'm saying.
Like, they just hired our coach, and we're probably gonna draft Bronny. If we draft Bronny, I might be out, bro.
You're
not
weird.
gonna lie. Like, I'm taking it in the first round. Like, if we spend the first round pick on Bronny, it might be like too much for me. Might be done. So,
anywho, our Looney Tunes squad aside, again, this is the hottest take in my opinion. I don't know what y'all rated. Brian will not save you. Will not save you. He will not save you. Man, who y'all got anything left on this slide before we wrap this thing up? We well over time. Alrighty then. Gentlemen, been real as always. Episode 27, J's and J's. Shout out to the Boston Celtics. I don't care nothing for Boston, but they won. They deserved to win. They were the best team throughout the year, so we have to give props and credit to where it's due. Jason Tatum playing a very great series, right? Jaylen Brown MVP, like I told you. Definitely some narratives to be had there. We'll definitely get into that at a different time, though. Y'all may have to hear from me one-on-one without, any weird interference, weird outside voices or stuff like that. But shout out Boston. We'll see what happens. Game 7 NHL. Make sure y'all follow us at Take 5 Pod everywhere. We got Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Twitter, and TikTok. We out.